Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're laser focused on something I know is top of mind for many of you listening. It's that whole collision of artificial intelligence and WordPress development, especially as we're looking ahead into 2025. Our mission today, pretty simple. Arm you, the digital product creator, with some, well, actionable insights to navigate this changing space and maybe spot the real opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at a pretty detailed market analysis today. It really examines AI's role in WordPress dev and, the wider digital product scene for 2025. So the goal is to break down the practical side of using AI for WordPress, especially tools like VS Code Copilot, and also get a clearer picture of just how strong the WordPress market still is, and maybe explore some solid alternatives for, generating revenue.
Exactly. We're hunting for those genuine aha moments. Like, think about this. How could a simple idea like smaller pieces always win actually be a key strategy when you're using AI in WordPress? And get ready for some maybe surprising numbers on just how dominant WordPress and WooCommerce still are. Okay, let's dive in.
Right. So let's start with that AI-assisted WordPress development piece. The analysis really highlights GitHub Copilot, especially how it works with Visual Studio Code. Basically, Copilot is, well, it's like an AI coding partner. It gives you suggestions as you type, which, could potentially really speed up creating WordPress themes and plugins.
Like having this super smart coding buddy just
Yeah.
anticipating what you need next. Okay, but the analysis really stresses this idea. Smaller pieces always win. Can you unpack that a bit? What does it actually mean when we're talking Copilot and WordPress?
Well, it's fascinating, really. The idea is that if you break down these big, complex development jobs into much smaller, more specific units, Copilot just works better. Think of it like training a specialist AI versus a generalist. If you focus it on one function or one small feature, you're sort of creating a mini expert for just that task. And that could lead to, better, more efficient code than just asking it to write a whole massive plugin from scratch.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Trying to get AI to spit out a complete theme feels like a huge ask. But focusing on, say, just the header layout or one specific PHP function that's a piece, the AI can actually get its virtual hands around. Now, the analysis does say we don't have like piles of specific data yet on Copilot for WordPress development. So what can we guess based on AI code generation generally?
Well, if we look at the bigger picture of AI code generation, these tools are definitely improving constantly. They might not write perfect code every single time, sure, but their ability to, handle repetitive stuff and suggest relevant code snippets, that can definitely boost productivity. And this is really important, human review and actually understanding WordPress conventions, still absolutely essential.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. You can't just blindly trust and implement AI code, especially in WordPress with its whole ecosystem of, hooks and filters and coding standards. Oh, and for those maybe less familiar, those hooks and filters, they're basically specific points where developers can add or change functionality without messing with WordPress's core code.
It's quite elegant.
Really? Exactly. And that kind of nuanced understanding is something AI is, well, still figuring out.
Okay, so AI assistance is growing. But what about the WordPress market itself? Is it still the powerhouse it's been?
Oh, yeah. The analysis paints a really clear picture here. Ongoing, significant dominance. Looking towards 2025, WordPress is still the leader, powering well over 40% of all websites. That's huge. And that includes a really big chunk of e-commerce sites, too, not just blogs.
Wow, over 40%. That's just an incredible footprint on the web. And it sounds like quality is still a big deal within that huge ecosystem. You mentioned these fastest WordPress themes list still popping up in 2025. Why is speed still such a big focus? Well, that constant focus on speed, it really highlights a basic user need, right? And it's a massive factor for search engines like Google. People just expect sites to load fast, sites that are quick and smooth. They always get favored. So the fact that there's still this demand for high-performance themes means there's a strong ongoing need for developers creating really optimized stuff.
So even though WordPress is mature, there's still room for innovation, especially around performance. Makes sense. And WordPress itself isn't just sitting back regarding AI, is it? The analysis mentioned a WordPress AI Copilot project.
Yes, that's quite noteworthy. The WordPress ecosystem itself is actively bringing AI in. This WordPress AI Copilot project, the idea is to build AI features right into the WordPress admin experience. So imagine talking to your site in plain English or automating routine tasks, maybe even getting AI help with content or site optimization. It points to AI becoming, more integrated for everyone using WordPress.
That's really interesting. So AI could go from being mainly a developer tool to something everyday WordPress users interact with. Okay, so given all this dynamic landscape, what specific opportunities are popping up right now in WordPress development? Let's talk themes first.
Well, the analysis suggests the theme market is still very much alive and kicking in 2025. Places like ThemeForest still have lots of bestsellers. And like we discussed, performance is a huge selling point. We keep seeing themes like Hello, Astra, Ocean WP, Generate Press, Cadence, Hestia, Neve. They're always on those speed benchmark lists.
Right. That's a pretty well-known list. Seems competitive. So in 2025, how does a theme developer actually stand out from that pack?
That's the key question, isn't it? The analysis points towards specializing, finding a clear niche, or maybe developing themes with really unique performance aspects. So instead of trying to build one theme for everybody, maybe focus on a specific industry. I don't know, restaurants maybe.
Yeah.
Or a type of site that needs incredible speed, like maybe minimalist blogs or portfolios. Could be a smarter strategy.
That makes sense. Target a specific need. Become the best at that. Okay, let's shift to plugins. The plugin repository is already, enormous. Are there still real opportunities there?
Absolutely. The analysis points to two really promising areas: e-commerce solutions and plugins for content monetization. Let's take e-commerce. WooCommerce is still the big one. It powers millions of stores, holds a massive chunk of the market share.
Yeah, massive is right. Over 5 million stores, almost a third of the market. Those numbers are just staggering. So inside that huge WooCommerce world, where are the plugin opportunities?
What's interesting is how online shopping keeps evolving, right? We're seeing things like AI-powered product recommendations getting smarter, better support for different currencies, smoother mobile checkouts, even using things like Face ID or fingerprint scans. So these changes create openings for plugins that can, enhance or extend those new features. Think maybe more advanced AI recommendation engines or tools to make international selling even easier, or adding unique security layers to mobile checkout.
Okay, so not necessarily competing with WooCommerce, but building on its strengths and tapping into these newer trends. Smart. What about content monetization plugins? I know that's something a lot of site owners are interested in.
Exactly. There's a very clear, persistent demand for ways to make money from content on WordPress sites. The analysis mentions several existing ones like Kling, TinyPass, MediaPass, pay-per-view, premium contents. They all offer different ways to do it, selling articles, full subscriptions, that kind of thing.
That sounds like a pretty crowded space already, with lots of options.
Yeah.
Is there still room for new players?
Well, it is competitive, that's true. But, if you can find a specific need that's not being met or offer a really fresh approach, maybe focus on a particular niche of creator, like, say, podcaster specifically, or offer features the current plugins don't have, like more detailed access control or unique integrations. There could still be real opportunities there.
Okay, so back to the AI side for a moment. This AI-assisted development sounds exciting, but it's not all smooth sailing, is it? The analysis mentioned some challenges.
Yeah, and it's really important to be realistic here. Tools like Copilot are great assistants, but they're not magic wands. Common issues include needing thorough quality checks. AI-generated code isn't always perfect. It might not fully get WordPress complexities or always produce the most efficient or, secure code. So, bottom line, significant human oversight, review, refinement, absolutely critical. An AI might write code that works, but a human needs to make sure it's secure, performant, and follows WordPress best practices.
Which loops us right back to that smaller pieces always win idea, doesn't it? If you break tasks down, it's easier for the human developer to actually review and tweak the AI's output effectively.
Precisely. Instead of asking the AI for huge chunks of code, use it for smaller, focused tasks. It gives you much more control and helps ensure the final quality and adherence to those WordPress standards.
Okay, so maybe WordPress development, even with AI help, isn't the only path for digital creators in 2025. What other options does the analysis bring up?
Right. If tackling WordPress feels like too much, even with AI, there are definitely other strong digital product routes. Online courses, for instance. That market is huge and still growing. If you've got expertise, WordPress, marketing, tech skills, creating and selling courses can be a great way to generate passive income and, establish yourself as an expert.
That makes total sense. People are always looking to learn new skills online. What else stood out?
Ebooks and other digital publications are still really popular and effective. Writing detailed guides or tutorials in your area of expertise, another solid way to make money and build your reputation.
And it sounds like there's also a market for more sort of practical, ready-to-use digital resources.
Yes. The analysis specifically calls out digital templates and tools as being among the best digital products to sell. That could be anything from like website wireframe kits, design templates, maybe even one specifically for WordPress page builders, or even tools to help other developers be more productive.
Interesting. So not just things for end users, but tools for other creators too,
Yeah.
and even things that are printable.
Exactly. Printable digital products also got highlighted as top performers. Things like design assets, planning checklists, maybe project worksheets, resources that help people in their web development or design workflows.
Okay, so there are definitely options. Whether you stick with WordPress development, maybe with AI, or explore these alternatives.
hmm
What's the big picture strategy for actually succeeding in 2025?
Fundamentally, it seems to boil down to this. Use AI strategically, let it accelerate your work, but always focus on adding your unique human value. That could mean specializing in an underserved niche, like we talked about, or offering just amazing design aesthetics that AI probably can't replicate, or building innovative features that solve very specific user problems, or maybe just providing outstanding documentation and support.
Right, finding that sweet spot where AI makes you faster, but you're still providing something special, something human that makes your product stand out. And what about actually getting these products out there, getting them noticed?
Well, for WordPress themes and plugins, yeah, established marketplaces like ThemeForest are still really important for reaching people, but you absolutely need top quality and something that makes you different to get noticed there. For the other digital products, the platforms might vary, but the core idea seems consistent. You need to actively build an audience, establish yourself as an authority, probably through content marketing. That seems key, regardless of where you sell.
So listening to this, it sounds like maybe the best path isn't choosing between AI-driven development and alternative products.
Exactly. The analysis really suggests a hybrid strategy might be the most effective approach for a lot of creators. Use AI tools like Copilot to streamline things, boost your productivity, but focus your human energy, your creativity, your problem solving, your design eye on crafting great user experiences and solving those specific user needs that AI just can't fully grasp yet.
So intelligently blend the efficiency of AI with our own unique human talents. That way we can be more productive and create things that are genuinely valuable and different in this AI-influenced market. That paints a really clear picture.
Yeah, ultimately, AI opens up exciting possibilities for WordPress development, sure, but your strategy, the unique value you bring, that's going to determine your success. The WordPress market is still strong, still has specific opportunities, and these alternative digital products, they offer very real, potentially profitable paths, whether you do them alongside WordPress or instead of it.
And those aha moments we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
hopefully you're feeling some of those now, like that smaller pieces idea for working with AI or just remembering the sheer scale and energy still in the WordPress world.
Yeah.
Our goal was really to give you a clear overview without making your head spin, and I hope this deep dive has done that for you.
Which really leads to a final thought for you to chew on. As AI keeps getting better, keeps weaving itself more into how we work, how does that balance shift, between the automated help and the essential human contribution? And maybe the bigger question is, what unique value, what special spark will you bring to this constantly evolving landscape?